Yo, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All the lights are on, I think, in the building. What's up? Give it up for that, yo. We in the building. We're back. We're back in the house. Hello, my name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. Let me check and see if I got my moderators in the house, man. Moderators Buck Bewley, Ebony, and Black Mamba in the building, yo. How you doing? Glad to have y'all back, man. Checking out my people, man. Where my people at, man? We're streaming. Oh, can y'all see me? I don't know if I see anybody. Hello, people. Why is my chat now? Let me see something. Okay, there goes chat. Don't tell me something funky happening. Come on, man. Never miss a comment. Oh, we're live on YouTube. We're live on X. We're live on Facebook. Okay, my brother called. That's got nothing to do with business. Let's see if we in the house, man. Hello. Why no messages showing up? I see there's some people tuned in here, but I don't see if they're here. That's strange, Johnson. Damn it. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Live. 52 people are watching. For some reason, guys, I can't see the chat up here on my side. But it looks like we good. So Amos said I'm good. Buck says I'm good. How Buck and Ebony? Okay, fine. We good. I'll just go with that, though. So it's not showing the chat, guys, but I don't know why that's it. Why that's doing that. But must be some problem with the service. I tell you, man, these services, man, I be paying for them. They don't be working sometimes. It just does what they want to do. They do. They have a mind of their own, Johnson. 95% of the time, everything works fine. But every once in a while, things go crazy. So right now, I cannot see the chat. I can't see any of the chat. I can't see any messages. And I just have to look on my phone to see people are there. So thanks, Buck. Thank y'all, man, for being here.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
And tonight, we got some content, man. Yesterday, we had a crazy adventure. If you're new to the show, my name is Tim Black. I'm the host of this show. We've been doing this show for over a decade right here on the Tim Black channel here on YouTube. We're also on Facebook tonight and X. If you're on any one of those platforms, please hit the like button. Hit the like button, hit the repost button. Let people know you're watching the show. It helps us in a damn algorithm. That algorithm crazy, y'all. So we cover, on this channel, I cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and Black culture. And not necessarily in that order. It depends on what the day is. It depends on the news cycle. And if we feeling froggy. So it's all good, right? Tonight I got some stuff lined up for us. We're going to talk about the shutdown that's going on. We got SNAP benefits. People going crazy about the SNAP benefits. Okay, we got to talk about that. With the shutdown, we got the No Kings thing. We didn't catch that yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk about the Republicans and their chat, getting caught chatting, saying crazy stuff. We got that. I got a whole bunch of stuff, so we're going to get to a whole lot. Before we get started on all of that, I want you to know, if I didn't care for you. Vop, 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 vop. Shout out to Red Sanford, man. Red Fox. Fred Sanford, the character, Red Fox, the man. Detroit Red. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy Mug. Get this legacy mug. It's politics for the people, not politics for the corporations, not politics for the elites, politics for the people. When I say people, I mean working class people. If you want this mug, it's politics for the people. It's on the label. I got it full of water right now, so I don't want to do too fancy. I don't want to wet up all my equipment. But yo, so the Politics for the People Legacy Mug, Tim Black Legacy Mug, is $20 to your doorstep. I walked to I walked to say, get some walking. Let me get some steps in. So I'm walking up the hill. I'm walking to the post office, going to the post office today. That was dope. So I got a batch going out today to some new people. So I want to thank those people. I want to thank them as well as I want to thank Buck for responding. Cool. And what you hate when you can't type right? Okay, cool. That's supposed to say cool, Buck. So yeah, what else do we got here, Johnson? We got that. Last night was an eventful show. We just talked. We had a good time, man. I like it. I'm getting away from looking at the stats and the subscribers and the views and how things are performing. As long as I'm having a good time, you're having a good time. You feel like you're getting the information. I'm not putting you to sleep. You feel like I'm being a real guy. I'm being real with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being being who I'm supposed to be, and we doing it the right way. Then what else is there? Everything else works itself out. These are things I've been telling myself. We will stay indoors. We will stay functioning. All right, so if you're new to the show, guys, just get ready for some craziness. But here goes the deal. If tonight, by some chance, you find this show interesting, if you find the show interesting or valuable, you will not only subscribe, you will cut on all your notifications. Cutting on your notifications is a way to assist the show in growth and also awareness. Engagement is king. Content is king, but engagement is queen. So go ahead and prepare to do that because I intend to make this show very interesting. Now, while I'm doing this show, I tell people my goal of the show is to be a regular, just talk. This ain't Don Lemon. I may appear to be overdressed, but believe me, I'm a product of the Prince George's County, Maryland public school system. I'm a regular brother who try to do extraordinary things. So with that in mind, Johnson, with that in mind, get out of here, thing. Why is that even here? There's nothing to show. Never miss a comment. You shut up. You're not showing me. Get out of my lineup. Let me put some captions down at the bottom here. All right, support Tim Black Media. To support the Tim Black Show, become a part of the Tim Black VIP, you go to jointimblack.com. Jointimblack.com. Without further ado, let's get all past all this stuff. Let's get to the good stuff, Tim Black. Damn it, Tim Black. Now, can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? We're going to start the night off with this. I saw this on my way to doing this show tonight. And I say, what is the hell is going on with this? What is this? Okay, so TMZ is reporting that Diddy, Trump may be considering pardoning or commuting the sentence of P. Diddy. Breaking news, TMZ reports that Trump is considering, I just said everything, commuting the sentence as early as this week. And this guy, Brian Cranston, Democrat operative, Brian Cranston, Krasenstein says, what the hell is wrong with this guy? How can anyone support this crap? I don't know. Same way they supported Biden. I don't know. Same way you support. I say the same things about Kamala, Biden, Obama, Trump. I say it about all of them. See, unlike the liberals, I hold all presidents accountable. Unlike the Democrats, I hold all presidents accountable. Unlike the progressives, I think all the presidents have crap with them. Okay, all of them. Trump is not excluded. But I don't exclude Kamala, VP, Kamala. I don't say she'd have been a good president. I don't think she would have been. And I don't think Biden was a good one. Okay, so I'm fair in that. I don't like anybody. Okay, back to this. Here we go, Johnson. This is just talk. This is not confirmed, okay? So let's break this down. TMZ reports this alone. Only TMZ is reporting this. I looked everywhere else. I could not find any proof anywhere else, but TMZ is standing on it 10 toes down. They say President Trump is seriously considering. I don't know what that means. I don't know if we should take it serious. If he's seriously considering, maybe we should take it serious that he's considering it. It said he could do this as early as this week. So if it's true, Diddy could come home. Forget the 50 months. Maybe he's learned his lesson. If Trump were to do this for Diddy, let's just say there are a number of voters who I think would feel very good about it. Yeah, there are people that would be mad that Trump did it, but see, here's the thing about Trump. I think Trump's looking at the upside, not the downside. There are not that many voters that would be upset about it who would say, I'm not going to vote for a Republican. They were going to vote for Republicans anyway. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes the people that hate you, no matter what you do, they never change. So who cares? I got a feeling that's how Trump's looking at this whole thing. He's like, they wouldn't vote. They wouldn't support us anyway. Let's go get the people that are on the fence. Yeah, I know one thing. If Trump were to commute Diddy would instantly become a big-time Trump supporter. 50 months is a long time. According to an anonymous high-ranking White House official speaking to TMZ, the source says Trump is vacillating on it. What a word, vacillating. Sounds a lot like an oscillating fan. I always think of that. A fan that, those fans, the fans that grandma had in the living room. Now, when you was glad to get that air, boy, you wait for that fan to come back around, boy. Woo! Hot. Some White House staff are pushing back hard against the idea, but the press will do what he wants. Yeah, some of them are pushing back hard on this. And that's how Diddy likes it. Pushing back hard. I had to get it, man. It was a layup, baby. Had to go for it. The lane was open. Combs, 55, was sentenced to 50 months, about 4+ years, on October 7th after conviction on 2 counts of transportation for prostitution under the Mann Act, which was a racist-ass act put together by pissed-off white ex-users' grandparents. The forefathers, the grandparents of the current racist ex-users that Elon loves, well, their grandparents are the ones that created the Mann Act, which was to stop one black guy from sleeping with multiple white women. And just so happens, Diddy's a black guy who was sleeping with multiple black men, it appears. Now, official motive from the White House yet, but no official word from the White House yet, but speculation ties it to Trump's history of high-profile pardons, commutations, celebs, Lil Wayne in his first term. Some outlets frame it as a nod to justice reform or celebrity sway. But see, for right now, it's just a pure insider leak. We don't know the validity of it. We'll see what happens. But you know, some people are very excited about it, and some people are upset about it. And that's the beauty of the Trump administration. They know just how to prod the media. I don't even know what else is going on right now. Right now, what's going on is this. And that's the way they like it. Yeah, Steve Bannon said Trump's going to flood the zone. Send everything at him. And Trump knows how to do that. His people know he knows how to do that. And that's part of the aura. X is blowing up with this. Mostly skepticism from MAGA corners, but some wild expectations and speculation. We got skeptical vibes, skeptical reporting it straight, conspiracy angles, and overall buzz from the idea. Man, look, so what do you think, guys? Do you think that Trump will commute the sentence of Diddy? Is this just talk? Is this just, I mean, it's an anonymous tip. I don't put it past Trump doing it. I just don't. I cannot dismiss it. And you know what, to be honest, guys, I don't think I give a damn if he did it or not, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really have strong opinions about it at this point? Diddy been in jail for a couple years. Of course, he was a degenerate, but so are lots of Americans who never go to jail. A lot of you was on back page in the 1990s, early 2000s. I'm just saying, Johnson. I mean, it's not like he was to catch a predator. You know what I'm saying? We're still waiting on the Epstein list. Aren't you? Yeah, man. I don't think a lot of people, and I can only speak for myself, but do you think that most people are really concerned about this? Do you think they're really sitting there, you know? I think there are people, I think it's a lot of upside available for it. I don't think that there are many people who would, I could be wrong, Johnson, I don't know, you know, Christian the evangelical crowd that Trump somehow can't get rid of. It's like he can't get those people from supporting him. The guy once said he could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue in broad daylight, they'd still vote for him. And I think that still holds true. I think he was onto something, Johnson. And if you contrast it with Kamala could jaywalk at night and people would hold it against her because she's just not likable. And that's the problem. And there are people that like the idea of Kamala Harris, but they didn't really like her or hate her. They just didn't. And that's the problem, man. You know, someone told me years ago, they said, Tim Black, you had the potential to become a really big guy in media. You know that, Tim Black? You really do. The problem is you're too nice. I was like, what do you mean by that? Not nice. I be roasting people all the time. Yeah, but then you sweeten it up. Then you get congenial. Stop doing that in the world's yours. Stop doing it and be who you are and just ride out. And you know what it is, Johnson? I've embraced it, and since then, I picked up another 40,000 people. Who knows how far we can go, Johnson? He could go all the way. So that's what Trump's got. Trump's got the ability to understand that polarizing is better than pulverizing. That being brash is better than being invisible. And being neutral sucks. So will Trump commute Diddy? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But just the fact he's considering it, just the fact it's in the media is already a win for him. Because there's a lot of shit going on right now. We're going to get to some of it. And all of it's not making him look so good. But guess what? It's bouncing off of him. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. If Trump does commute Diddy, it's not like he can run again, so what you gonna do? Will you not like him? I don't even know what that means. He's president. What are you going to do? Make him unpresident? You already tried it. They already tried. I'm like, here's the thing, man. People don't get it. They went after Trump with razor blades and lemon juice for 10 years. And they shot at the guy and they missed. And it's a famous saying from The Wire. Omar said, if you come for the king, you bet not miss. They missed. And now all of a sudden, everybody forgets how the saying goes. Everybody forgets. If you shoot at the king, you bet not miss. They missed, and now they're like, I don't understand. Why is he upset? I don't know. What did we do? You try to take the guy's life from him. You tried to bankrupt him. You went in his wife's underwear drawer looking for papers. Meanwhile, Biden got something back at the house. What? Name something you didn't do. You know, it'd be a shorter list, and we just said, well, Obama was spying on Trump's campaign. There was a Watergate. No one talks about the Watergate that took place during the 2019, was it 2019? 2016? Yeah. No one talks about 2015, 2016. Trump's first term. Before that, how the White House wiretapped him at Mar-a-Lago. No one talks about that. That was your Watergate. People keep saying, oh, Obama, he had a clean presidency. There were no scandals. Just because the media would not report them. That's because they wouldn't report them. That right there, folks, is why Comey's, okay, FBI, okay? That's why Trump put in his own FBI. How you going to trust the FBI if they were spying on you? The alphabets. So there's a lot of things. I'm not going to put it all here, right? But I just want people, I'm trying to remind my people because some people are new to the show, and that's what you know. I'm not saying Trump's a great guy. What I'm saying is the things that they did, were wrong too, okay? You're not going to get that everywhere, okay? Just not. Here's how the world works. You got Trump-ass kissers, and you got Trump haters. There's very little of, very little of that. Very little people looking at it going, you know, Democrats are wrong for all the shit they did. And Trump, he be doing some crazy shit. So that's because you know what? There's no money in that. You got to be, what I tell you earlier about polarizing. So if Trump commutes Diddy, he will be doing exactly what I just said. He will be, I think he has to. It's on brand for him to do the most brash thing that gaslights all of the Democratic Party, that has the corporate media up in their tizzy, that they got to give him another 2-3 days. Just imagine the coverage. Just imagine all the other crap Trump's got going on. You know, there was supposed to be a ceasefire in Israel. And Israel said, hey, Hamas did something that killed 2 Israeli soldiers. So Israel, during the ceasefire, went and bombed and killed like 50 Palestinians. Men, women, children, all that shit. That's like page 62, like on the backside of some paper somewhere. That's not even major news. Right, so Trump might want a vested interest in like getting a news cycle to keep our minds and keep people like me and people like in corporate media from talking about real stuff. Because if there's nothing salacious, if there's nothing crazy going on, somebody, you know, might be like, well, I guess we got to cover the real shit. And Trump would want that to happen. You know, covering the real news. No president once you cover the real news. Sort of like Trump, or sort of like Obama with the wiretaps. All right, fam, put it in the comment section. Smoke them if you got them. Will Trump commute the sentence of Diddy? 4 years is a long time. I know one guy who's hoping and praying. Who's like, you gonna commute me? For real? Trump, I don't like you, but I'll take that. Take that. All right, next. Where are we here, Johnson? Let's do this, Johnson.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Get out of here, Diddy.
So I'm getting these mad messages from my DMs and social media and on my comments. And I randomly get a text message talking about a recent video that was posted in my account. I was like, what are y'all talking about? By the way, I'm sick, so if I sound weird, yeah. I get threats daily on IG and everywhere all over my social media all of a sudden due to an old video I posted months ago about Iran. Iran, that was not to be a threat. It was literally a joke, bro. Like, seriously, it's just content. Anyways, once I seen that video that was posted in my account, then I was like, what the fuck? Well, didn't I post this like months ago? Then I seen the caption, and then I was like, wait, I didn't do that. I still got the video saved on my draft from months ago on TikTok, bro. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Here's the fucked up part. Federal government is involved with something that I didn't do. Like, what? So this is what they reposted off my TikTok. That video got taken down. So here's what they reposted on their page. Now that video is going crazy as hell on Twitter, bro. Now I'm a threat to the government with something that I didn't do, bro. Now I'm being called a wannabe YN, a wannabe gangster over a video that I didn't caption or I didn't post. So thanks for my followers for letting me know about this, because seriously, this is getting out of hand. Like, literally, this is going crazy, viral all over social media right now. Probably might end up being on the news, bro. So my apologies for that contradiction and rumors from happening. I know my First Amendment, but I did not post that video. So to clear that out, I did not post that video, and I apologize for all the rumors that is going around right now on social media about this conflict. And those other kids that was on the video, bro, they volunteered to want to be on the video, bro. I asked them if they wanted to be on the video, and then they said, yeah, they agreed with it. But it wasn't really aware with the caption for the Iran video. But that Iran video trend that was going on a few months ago, I wanted to hop on that trend, and I peeped a lot of people was doing the same thing too. So I wanted to be creative and change my perspective. So then I seen comments saying, oh, what if somebody made a YN type of video? So then I ended up making that video. And then I started getting threats. Like, what? How is it my fault that's what y'all wanted?
Okay, so according to the young man, you heard the synopsis there. That's pretty much what it is, man. I saw this on Twitter. Couple maggots on X posted a video of this young man, and they said he threatened to go after ICE employees, ICE officers doing their jobs or whatever. Now, look, there is a precedent. There is something that I think it was some cartel members threatening, putting a bounty on the heads of various ICE officials, couple sheriffs or whatever, saying, put an actual legit hit out on sheriffs. Now, I think somebody was arrested for such, making these types of threats, and he was like, well, I didn't really intend on doing anything. I'm just blowing off steam. Sometimes you threaten people. Just have fun on social. Had no intention of doing anything. Here's the thing, guys, and this young man here, I'm taking him at his word. Unlike the maggots, I'm taking him at his word. There are maggots saying, well, he did this, and he posted this, and he put it up, and he put the caption himself. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to believe the young man. I'm going to ride with him. I trust him more than I trust maggots. Yeah, these X who get money, they made a lot of money off just posting the video. I think people need to understand. People get paid for impressions. And since that's our social media, man, look, This young man tells you, I did this as part of a trend on TikTok. Everyone agrees that he posted the video months ago. That's what's agreed. It was an old video. It's not new. He didn't just go shoot at him and the guys and get together because they heard about a bounty possibility in Chicago for ICE agents. We all know, and that's why I can't stand maggots that feed at the, trying to get the money for the views on YouTube or X or whatever. Because they all know damn well that the kid posted the video months ago. They already know that. They don't care about facts. Okay? So whether he reposted the video and just changed the caption to ride the wave to go viral or not, that's what they're saying. He's saying, no, that's not what happened. He's saying he did not repost it. He did not put the new caption on it. Somebody else put the caption on it to make money. At the end of the day, the facts are the facts, no matter how you slice it. Either the young man did it to make money or somebody else did it to make money. And the young man who did it didn't do it to actually threaten the Department of Homeland Security. And neither did the person who may have uploaded it to, just like I just uploaded that video, I'm using that video in my broadcast. Anybody can download a video and re-upload it. We all understand how the internet works, don't we? What I'm saying is, there may be some intentions here for people to make money. And that's the downside of social media. It's the upside too. People can make money. There's ways to make money in America that are unconventional. Ways when I was coming up we didn't even have. And you couldn't even dream of this, okay? There were also cool things that I came up with, like you can have a suspended license in Maryland, go to D.C., get in line and take your test and get a D.C. license in 2 seconds. Can't do that anymore either. So there were some pluses for being old. Now the systems are all tied together. You can't get away with that. Not that I would condone such. What I'm saying is things have changed. But see, there's a running thing on X. Elon Musk, and I'm sure this is present on some other platforms like Facebook. What's most important is virality. What's most important are hits, are views, are money. And that's all it is. So, look, if you don't get it, you'll never get it. And if you're locked in a box of thinking everything you see is real, you'll never get it. A lot of stuff's AI. I don't know if this is AI or not. I don't think it is. I got people saying this looks like AI. I don't think it's AI. I think it's just a video they shot for fun. And it's being used by people that want to paint a certain narrative. That's what I think. So whatever you think, whatever you believe it to be, the thing that's really scary for real, is the fact that the Department of Homeland Security is tweeting out like some random troll account. FAFO. Aren't you supposed to be a little bit more serious than that? Like, why so spicy, Department of Homeland Security? Not that I want smoke, I don't want no problems. It just seems like I liked it better when, the people from the alphabet agencies seemed, buttoned up, professional, serious even. And that ain't what I'm getting from this administration. I'm getting I'm not on that, now Trump's in here, the most incompetent administration. Look, man, I didn't pay attention to Biden's people. I didn't pay attention to Obama's people. I'm not going to pretend that I'm paying attention to Trump's people. So that's the problem with a lot of media people. They're pretending like they've ever covered these agencies and who worked there and what they did. Until things get broke, till things go wrong, no one really pays attention to it's too much. It's too much. See how much news happens every day? We don't even know these people's names. Okay? Who was the attorney general? Like, we know Sessions because he got roasted, but like I'm just saying, like, we didn't pay attention to the Health Human Services Secretary. Who cared about the FBI director? Just some tight pants, slacks wearing, gray suit wearing, pencil pushing, no one cared. Now, all the focus Yeah, I guess when you got the Mod Squad or the Bad News Bears in there, I guess it's a reason to pay more attention than usual. But because I'm gonna get out because I don't. The only thing I will caution the young man, I want to caution the young man here. I want to say some OG stuff, right? Here goes your uncle OG T Black. Let me tell you something, son. Young man, don't play games. Okay? These people crazy. All right? I know it don't seem real till they get real. But if they come get you, won't be nothing mama can do. I know you live at home with your mama. I don't know if your mama, your parents, whoever you live with, I don't think they understand. They kick in your door. You ain't gonna have to pay for it. Your people gonna have to pay for it. Then if their parents, if you live in a house, I don't know if you own a house, you might own a house. If you don't own a house, you might get evicted. These are all ramifications. Do you have any siblings? You don't want to put them in harm's way because you want to make hits on YouTube or X or TikTok. You understand what I'm saying? All I'm trying to tell you, things can get real fast. So don't play with them people. Them people. They may seem weird, they may seem funny, they may seem a joke, but they got real authority. They got real guns in real jail cells and real black sites. Okay? Say I'm being scary if you want. I'm not the one in jeopardy. I'm looking out. I'm trying to tell you something good for you. And I'm saying, take it seriously. All right? I got a son who's 16 years old. I'm telling you the same thing I'm going to say to him. Well, I'm not saying exactly what I say to him because it'd be a little bit different. I would be more stern. You ain't my child, so I ain't going to be as stern. But I am going to say, stop playing. All right? Stop playing. Ain't nothing funny. Sit up in a Guantanamo Bay type situation. Abu Ghraib situation. It's not funny. Waterboarding is not funny. Ask Mos Def. Who is Mos Def? I know. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. Let me know what y'all think about this segment. It's disgusting that the people, that there's so many people just willing to throw these kids' lives away and just be disrespectful. Like, they just don't care about our kids. Like, they don't let our kids be kids. You know what I'm saying? America's crazy what America does. America treats black kids like they're old men. And they treat old men like they're kids. They teach it. Let me say that again because it's a bar. Okay. America's a crazy place. White America treats black children like old men. And they treat white men like their children. All right, next. Where are we at here, Johnson?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
If you're not sure what to protest about next, fear no more, I got you covered. The next time your party leaders choose a presidential candidate behind closed doors without holding a fair primary, start a No Kings protest. The next time politicians try to force medical decisions on you, like take the jab or lose your job instead of giving you freedom of choice, start a No Kings protest. The next time they silence journalists or ban accounts all over social media or call dissent misinformation just to control the narrative, start a No Kings protest. The next time they send billions of taxpayer dollars overseas while Americans struggle to pay rent, groceries, and gas, start a No Kings protest. The next time unelected bureaucrats create laws through agencies instead of letting Congress vote, start a No Kings protest. The next time they try to control speech by labeling your beliefs as hate just to shut you up, start a No Kings protest. And the next time they pretend to care about democracy but silence their political opponents, you sure as hell better march your asses out on those streets and start a No Kings protest instead of always...
These are the people at the No Kings protest.
What's your response to the protests over the weekend, the No Kings protests?
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
By the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
I don't know. This does look a little bit like it represents America, though. You got a lot of white people. A lot of old white people and women with buzz cuts. Yeah, I don't know. This looks a lot like America to me. Are they on beat? Yeah, that was a notorious coonery. Notorious coon getting thrown out of an event where he was trying to crash. That was interesting. Yeah, they're back to dancing, Johnson. This is fun times. I tell you, man, no kings. No kings rally.
Well, Frederica, this program of speakers just ended a short time ago. I can tell you that the crowd is thinning out here. People started to leave. But, boy, it was jam-packed here just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm sure it was there, Johnson. I'm sure it was jam-packed, CNN. Why would I not believe you? Why would I not believe you? All of a sudden, it just all evaporated. Still 98% white event. Which I have no problem with. That's cool stuff, man. Get out there. Get out there on the line of D.C. here. But I wasn't going down there. They were like, Tim Black, man, you going down to the No King?
When the program of...
A couple black people said, Tim, you going to see the No Kings rally? I was like, nah, King. Nah.
Speakers was still going on. You had Senator Bernie Sanders, who just wrapped up to a rousing round of applause. Senator Chris Murphy spoke. Bill Nye, the science guy, spoke. And again, the crowds are thinned, but they're not gone yet. I mean, there was just tens of thousands of people packed in.
That looks like about 1,000 people. I don't even know if that's 1,000 people, Johnson. You know, it's not that easy to get that many people out of one space. I don't know if I believe this guy.
Into a relatively small space here on Pennsylvania.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector. Next.
Yeah, Johnson, you know something? I think we got to learn how to call bullshit when bullshit's present. When will people admit that most people are just not into all this protesting stuff that doesn't seem to do a whole hell of a lot of good? I mean, we got bored people that got time on their hands. And, you know, they'll spend their time doing what they can, you know? But there's a reason why you only see certain demographics out here protesting. Because typically, the rest of us have to go to work. Yeah, we got to work while you're protesting. I know I was working. So, yeah, the whole protest. And this whole idea of no kings. Don't fall for the idea that this was something that was by the grassroots. Nah, this is a corporate-sponsored event. I heard people were getting paid to attend it. Okay, so it's not granular. You know, if it weren't for black civil rights, this America would be nothing. And all the immigrants that came to it would have rights. It's like we cut our teeth. America cut its teeth with black Americans on everything. That's why they're so obsessed with us. They got to throw us into everything. So they're trying to build off the legacy of the civil rights struggle, the civil rights movement. We were fighting for the ability to be human beings, treated like human beings, to have the same rights as the whites. And it's gotten all the way to this. Partisan, Democrat versus Republican nonsense. And somehow that's a civil rights movement, and it's not, Johnson. If you really cared about no kings, if people had rights, because that's really what your connotation is. It's like people are losing, Americans are losing their rights. Well, that makes an assumption that you had rights to lose. Let's be clear, Johnson. In a country where we have super delegates, and these are people that have more rights than the average voter, who the hell came up with that idea? That'd be something to protest. That's actually a real thing. Closed primaries. In a real world, a just world, a democratic system, anybody would be able to vote anytime, anywhere. No, no, no. Not so. Many states have closed primaries. Only certain people can vote. You got to be registered to vote for this candidate under this party. You can't just vote whoever you want. You just can't vote in whatever primary you want. So if there was a real no kings, if you really want to say our rights are not being respected, you can start there. Okay? There are a number of things. This whole thing where people with money get to have to pay lobbyists. Okay, that's a big issue. It's an issue that's been happening in America for generation upon generation, administration upon administration. But no one talks about it. No one complains about it. How about the way our money's spent? We got our money going to wars that Americans don't get to vote on, don't get to make any decisions in it. We don't get to say, no, we don't want to fund Ukraine or bombing of anyone. So what I'm saying is, I'm not opposed to the idea of saying no kings. It's just they use it against one guy. When Trump has only been in politics for 10 years, America's been having problems with rights. We've been losing our rights as Americans for quite some time. And that really pisses us off, us as Black Americans, and I can't speak for all, but being from a group of people that didn't really have rights until 1970, it kind of sucks as soon as we get them. Now they don't mean anything. So I'm not saying there's no reason to protest. I'm not saying it's not a reason to complain. There's more reasons to complain than I can count. I got a list of things. I just don't want to bore you. I don't want to have to read them. Okay? The oligarchies of Bushes, Cheneys, Clintons, and Kennedys. Who are these mofos? You want to start there as these legacies. These our elections, everything. Pelosi only wins elections because she's the richest person, the most money. These are problems, right? And if you really wanted to say, stop the king shit, you'd stop there. You'd start there, you'd stop there. Insider trading and all the other bullshit. The corporate subsidies. The rich get richer, the poor get poor. There's a lot of reasons to protest about no kings. But I find it dumbing down big time to focus on Trump. That's who it's all about. We could just say executive orders themselves. That's one person, literally one person, taking a pen. And in Biden's case, taking a magic pen, or someone else taking a pen, and signing his signature on shit and controlling what the country does. That in itself is absolutely, that's to the letter, monarch shit. But no one protested it. There was no King's Rally when executive orders, and I know Trump signed a lot of executive orders, Obama still has them beat. Obama signed executive orders, Biden signed executive orders. A number of the executive orders that Trump signed back in 2016 through 20, Biden didn't even rescind them. See, informed voters is what our media doesn't want us to have, because it will expose them for the bullshit that they are on. Have your No Kings Rally. Have it if you want to have it, fine. I won't be attending. And many other people won't be attending. We got better shit to do. But if you want to be taken seriously, if America really wants to be serious about getting our rights, having rights that are protecting American citizens, we'd have to start with our election process altogether. Because it is anything but democratic. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section about this section, about this segment. Like I said, man, I'm not saying Trump hasn't done things. What I'm saying is, if you only pay attention when it's the guy you hate in office, you're missing the boat. There's a lot of things to be upset about that are not specific to Trump, just exist and have existed upon administration. When we start there, then maybe we can get a real broad consensus that this needs to change. But when you make it about Trump, how could you really make change? You're making it about one person. That's it. Let's keep going, fam. Yeah, sometimes you can just make too much sense. Yeah.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
The vice president is doubling down on his defense of the young Republicans involved in a leaked chat that used hundreds of slurs and joked about slavery, gas chambers, and rape. On social media, J.D. Vance says that he refused to join the pearl clutching and played whataboutism with Democrats. But after a night to sleep on it, this is how he described the Republican operatives, at least one of whom is an actual elected official.
Grow up. I'm sorry. Focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. The reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes. Like, that's what kids do. And I really don't want us to grow up in a country where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives. And at some point, we're all going to have to say, enough of this BS.
Now, keep in mind, the texters referred to black people as monkeys and watermelon people. They fantasized about raping enemies and driving them to suicide. They supported slavery and sending political opponents to gas chambers to, quote, watch people burn now. Now, here is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at CNN's town hall tonight talking about Republicans and the influence that they have on social media.
They have been successful because they have also been very clear, especially digitally, about what they believe. That women are inferior, that they do not deserve equal rights. That they believe that LGBTQ Americans are subhuman. That they believe and are circulating disgusting racial and white supremacist messaging that they are able to get away with digitally and online.
Joining us at the table is Camille Foster. He's the editor-at-large at Tangle. Camille, what do you make of what she said there and how it relates to this conversation about the liberty and the freedom with which these guys thought that they could spew this kind of stuff without any kind of consequences?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, Abby, first and foremost. I have a lot of issues with the conversation around this particular story. I would tend to agree the comments in the thread ought to be condemned universally. But this is like kind of what you would expect, this kind of idiot, LARPing, edgelord nonsense inside of a private group chat. I think the words you used a moment ago, that they think they could say this sort of thing risk-free, consequence-free. Well, they were saying it in private. And I'm sure they were saying different things in public. Do they mean these things authentically? In some cases, they almost certainly do. There has been a resurgence of white nationalist sentiment in this country. I think it's interesting, though, to try to trace this back and to think honestly about how we got to here. And I do think that a lot of the renewed interest in race and identity things for both noble purposes and otherwise has actually helped to create the circumstances that we see now. That is not erasing any of the responsibility that people have for embracing and endorsing these kinds of sentiments, even in private group chats where they're doing this kind of idiotic locker room talk. They deserve to face consequences. But I do think that J.D. Vance's comments about this are worth actually focusing in on for a moment. This has shades of that whole eating the cats, eating the dogs nonsense from during the campaign cycle.
I mean, he would know all about that.
He is a capable spokesperson for this administration, and I mean that as both a compliment and a dig, in the sense that he seems willing to go out and defend just about anything. It's weird, the places where they decide to draw the lines. I'm not sure why they decide to draw it here. I do think the hypocrisy he's underscoring, though, is real.
I know why,
as well.
because I've seen the places where these comments have been defended. And I think J.D. Vance is looking down the line at 2028, and he's looking at who he's calling kids right now are going to be the Republican operatives and the sort of the future of the Republican Party. And I think he's lining himself up. But you make an important point. The comments in the group chat are terrible and stupid, but I find it way more interesting that J.D. Vance has chosen to defend it.
Okay, there's so much on this, Johnson. I want to cut it here. I gotta say, Johnson, what J.D. Vance did here is the problem. It's a problem. And you know, it's something you got to look at it. I don't care who you are. You got to look at it for what it is. I mean, the Republican Party tried to make a move to pour some different people into their party. Right? And that's been pretty obvious. And Trump was pretty successful at that. Trump got more black vote, for instance, than any Republican in the last 40 years. It is what it is. These are numbers. Latinos broke for Trump. White men always do. White women always do, right? So if it wasn't for, so let's remember that as we go through the rest of this. And then this happens. Right? I'm not going to say there was nothing that happened before it, but, this is a major thing because you got young Republicans, and when we say young, we mean 18 to 40. That's considered young. To be in this organization, you could be as old as 40. That's not really that young. That's basically middle age, okay? But okay, fine. JD's making it sound like they're all 20 years old, 19, 17, 18. No, as old as 40. Some people are granddads at 40. Real talk. So, yeah, but it's just a fact, like, Republicans are cooked. They're cooked because of the way that they're reacting to this. I think it's horrible, Johnson. I mean, even me, I can't stand Democrats. I tell people all the time. And when I say Democrats, I mean the Democratic Party, right? I don't mean every single Democrat. There are some Democrats, individuals that I have a lot of respect for. And there's some I don't. But even I, a person that's been very critical of the Democratic Party, I can look and say, you know what, the Democrats would have handled this differently. And yeah, it may have been bullshit, the way that they would have handled it, but I still would have preferred bullshit. I would have preferred you to act like, what the hell is this? What? N-words? Watermelon people? Oh, God, Hitler's cool. What? Not in my party. Not in my party. That J.D. Vance, JD's like, hey, calm down. Hey, put a stick out your ass. We're all a little racist. We're all a little racist, aren't we? Everyone's a little racist. Damn, that sounds like Nick Fuentes, doesn't it? Everybody's a little racist. Aren't we all a little racist? Yeah, only some of us had the authority from the group that we're with that we could actually implement our racism. You know? Let me touch on that while I'm ranting. There are people that make these comments, they sound like J.D. Vance. We're all a little racist. We all say stuff. Yeah, saying things is one thing. Okay? But actually doing something with your racism, that's different. And I don't mean, well, you're more likely to be killed. Black people kill more white people than white people kill black people. Motherfucker, there are other forms of racism. First of all, any of us, black men are more likely to be shot and killed by violence than any other group. So all this trying to scare white people stuff, just stop. You're more likely to get struck by lightning or eaten by your pet pit bull than you are to be killed by anybody. Okay, white guys? So just calm down. Get off X, go outside, get some sun on your face. But here's the thing, guys. There are other forms of racism that exist that impact your life besides getting shot. There are things like getting a home loan, getting approved for the home loan, not getting the rates hiked artificially, not getting your appraisal, getting sandbagged on your appraisal because you're black, getting treated like a regular citizen when you are sick and getting the proper medication instead of being second-guessed or not given the correct dosage or approved at all, which happened to my fucking wife because the doctor's like, she couldn't be telling the truth about her back. Doesn't know we got 3 new kids at home and one's 3. And we're a little older. It's a lot of work. But they didn't believe it. They thought she was a druggie or something. So we're like suing them right now because the white doctor didn't believe the black woman had a back problem. So there are a list of things we could go. We could go car loans, finance rates. We could go education, how teachers treat students in classes. It's not so. I think what we have are a lot of J.D. Vance, Nick Fuentes assholes who want to make everything flat. And it's only to absolve white people, only to make white people feel better. That's it. As if it's an indictment of you, how America, my gripe is how America's treated black people. When I say America, I mean the government, dog. I'm talking about institutions. I'm not talking about individuals. But we got people that are so defensive, and they see, because they see America is theirs. So when you say America's been mistreating black Americans, they want to defend it, even when it's indefensible. I mean, thousands of black people were lynched, and white people were not charged who did the lynching. That's after slavery. So it's not just slavery, because for another 100 and so years, lynchings continued. They didn't start lynching and hanging and mutilating and frying black people till after we got freedom. No one ever flooded a white town on purpose. No one ran white people off their property and burnt their city. But see, this relates to what's happening now with this list. J.D. Vance won't even feign like he gives a shit that this was offensive as hell to the same voters that they just courted. So what I'm saying is they're basically shitting on all the work that Trump did. Will pardoning, a potential pardoning of Diddy resolve it? I don't think it will. Basically, this nonchalant attitude, let kids be kids. Now, when they say let kids be kids, they mean let white people be white people. Let white people be white people. As long as white people are white people, they make it nothing. Dog, if you think for a second, if there were a bunch of liberals, a bunch of black guys on a group chat talking like this, oh my God, Homeland Security would be on their ass. They'd be in jail. They'd all be investigated. They would be plastered everywhere. If there were a group of black radicals who wanted reparations or a black agenda was in a group chat and they were discovered to be saying this shit about other groups of people, cancel Christmas. And that's why I say America has a crazy sense of humor. They treat our children like grown men and treat their grown men like children. And this is a prime example of that. So for all my people out there for all my black folks out there that have been wondering, like, God, the Democrats are so disgusting. They're so phony and fake, and they haven't done anything for us that would grant them our votes without even looking at the other side. Look, America, this is it. This is what we up against us. I'm trying to shake people out of that, shake my people out of that voting trend. They look over and they see the Republicans. They look at this shit. And they say, Tim Black, how can I ever vote for this? How can I vote for this? Stephen A., when you are going on your high horse and talking shit, did you talk about this? See, I'm talking about it because I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to make you vote Republican. Does that cost me views? Who cares? Does that cost me friends on that side of the aisle? Who cares? Does that mean Michael Singleton won't take my phone calls? He ain't petty like that, but if he did, I'm old. I've lived many years without him being my friend. I could keep going. But see, there are people like Stephen A. and others, and all the black conservatives, who, if they reported on this, they will make light of it. And it's not that this is a major issue. It's a layup. You're supposed to say, I refute it. Damn it, I refute it. It's a great opportunity. You get an opportunity to show you're not racist, to show that you're not anti-black, anti-LGBTQ, anti-Semitic. It's an opportunity where there's nothing on the table. These guys aren't even elected officials. Out of all the people in the chat, there was only one guy in some state rep position. Who gives a shit? Get out of here, dumbass. You had a job doing this. Get the fuck out of here. It's a layup. It's a finger roll at the rim. You're unguarded. You just duck it. Don't even get fancy. And JD wouldn't even do it. So what I take from that is a total lack of respect for black voters. A total lack of respect for Latinos, Asians, Native Americans, whatever, all the shit that was listed in that group chat. And as much as I don't want to side with Abby Phillip, because Abby, stop, Scott. Stop. Scott. Jesus Christ. But as much as I can say those things and roast Abby Phillip, I can say she's right. She's right. And that's what we got to be willing to do, fam. We got to be willing to call a thing a thing. We got to be willing to say this is wrong. And black people, we got to be willing to say we have no party. This doesn't mean you go run up under the leg of the Democratic Party like a hound dog. Admit you have no party. Working class white people need to do the same thing. They are doing the same. They don't want to admit they don't have a party. The rich been getting richer and the poor getting poor. And when I'm saying that, that's white people too. And they still won't admit they don't have a fucking party, Johnson. But the test, folks, regardless of what people say about independent media policing one another, no, I'm going to continue to speak my mind on these issues. Those who are worried about being caught on the carpet, being called out, are just upset because they have shit to be called out for. We should be standing up and saying the truth. And the truth is, both parties suck. Santa ain't real. Whether you think it's white or black, it ain't real. And neither one of these parties really give a shit. The Democrats would have handled this better. It would have gave people the false impression that they cared. Hell, man, I see Democrats roast each other for far less. The fact that Republicans won't even pretend to give a shit says a lot. These Republicans were caught red-handed, saying some deplorable, disgusting shit about all of us. And J.D. Vance's response is, no big deal. Why are you worried about words? That's what's wrong with you, blacks. You worry about words. These are kids. Let the kids be kids. Yeah, but if it had been the other way around, they would not be saying that shit. And the problem is, all the conservative media, they all know I'm right. None of them will admit it. None of them will tell the truth. None of them are honest because they play team sports. So, let me know what you think about it. Is this a game changer for you? I think it's actually, I'm glad that J.D. Vance, I'm glad the Republicans. I'm glad of one thing, and let me say this. I'm glad that J.D. Vance did this, and it just dawned on me. Good. I don't want black Americans to be under the false idea that they could go become Republicans and that solves their problems. I don't want you to think that. Van Lathan, did you hear me? I don't want them to think that. Mark Lamont Hill, I don't want black America to think. I know some people have been, I'm not saying you guys are doing it, some people have been putting that shit out there that I feel that all black people should become Republicans. Why would I want them to become something I'm not? You're not going to get me with that, okay? Just admit that I'm not a Republican or a Democrat and I hit both parties. Just admit it, because that's what I do. What I'm saying is, I'm glad this happened, because this is an opportunity to remind black America, don't just run over there. There is no easy fix to this. That's the thing. There is no easy fix, so we got to do the hard thing. We got to judge each instance on its merits. We got to hold both parties accountable. You can't go to sleep and just say, I'm just going to ride with this. You're going to wake up and be in the damn ditch. You're going to wake up. Wow, this doesn't look like District Heights, Maryland. Where the hell am I? You're in heaven, sir. They wrecked the car while you were asleep. So you can't fall asleep. You can't just pick Democrats and Republicans and go to sleep. Because they both will crash the car with you in it and have your ass sitting outside the car through the windshield. So I'm glad this happened. I'm glad it happened. This is a bonus to remind us all, we don't have a party. Them black faces in high places don't make this your party. White people, Trump's red hat, don't make it your party. It's still the party of the rich and of the elite. And we are all expendable. Just some of us are more expendable than others. And the sooner you wake up to that, the sooner we have an option. We have an opportunity. We have an outside opportunity that maybe we can wrestle back a little bit of that democracy everyone keeps talking about. But if you are blind enough to run into the arms of your captor, you deserve to have what you have. Nothing. All right, guys, look, my name is Tim Black. Go to jointimblack.com. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. I know everybody ain't talking like this. I know they not. I don't watch them to know. I just know. Because the money is in left or right. It's not in truth. That's the fucking problem, Johnson. And that's why I need you to sign up today. Okay? Chris Cuomo says he calls him straight. He never did. He's always been a Democrat, just like his dad, just like his brother. Sign up today. All right. You guys ready? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. What else we got? I can't see comments, but I got a feeling there'll be some people that agree with that segment. Now, what else we got, Johnson? What else do we have here?
Next on deck with Tim Black.
That he's making, sure, Michael, that he wishes he could drop.
Look, I
feces on his
think,
fellow Americans.
Look, this is what I think. I think a lot of Republicans look at this, and I've texted with a lot of folks about it. They thought it was hilarious. They thought it was funny. Some of my Democratic friends thought it was a little over the top, but even they acknowledged to me, you know, I got to give it to Trump. He is good at sort of goading our side with some of these sort of satirical videos and other memes that he typically would post on social media. It makes him more relatable to the average person. You wouldn't typically see this from a president, but the average person looks at this, Jake, and they sort of laugh or they dislike it. But I don't think it's something to sort of set your hair on fire over.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
So what are we even talking about here? This is a clip, and folks, I did not include the clip. It was a clip of a meme that Donald Trump tweeted out or X'd out or posted on his social site, Truth Social, of a meme of a plane dropping feces on No Kings protesters. And what Democrats are upset about it, was this really how he wants to treat us? This is a great indicator of really what Trump thinks of the people that dissent. Well, he thinks that you're full of shit. Hey, man, here's the thing, man. You know, the Democrats are never going to get in the game, really, are they? They just don't want to win. Fam. The environment has changed. No more of the pose stuck up your ass, straight-laced, everybody be nice. You know, that's not who Democrats really are anyway. Democrats that I know Democrats that are feisty, punchy, hard-hitting. I've had Democrats say, look, I want you to know, I choose violence. That was a Democrat. I know Democrats that are gangster. I know Democrats that are sweet as hell. I know progressives. I know Republicans that are middle of the road, very cordial, very much buttoned up, very sensible. And I know some conservatives that are gun-toting conservatives. So, like, it's across the spectrum. But see, the Democrats, they fall behind this notion that they're all a bunch of hippy-dippies or something. And they can't take a joke. And like anything, they get appalled. Like, even that, I'm insulted. Even the word. Grown-ass men don't get insulted, dummy. You know, even the spokespeople for the Democrats are, you know, just don't get it. Trump put out a meme. I don't know if you made it or not. It was hilarious. Yeah, sometimes you got to empty the cargo on the plane. And it fell on people. And that's funny. Does that mean he thinks that Democrats, if he really could do that, that's what he'd do? I don't know. I guess if you want to take a joke and make it literal, if you want to take a cartoon and make it a real thing, I guess you could make that. You can leap to that conclusion. The bigger issue here, guys, is that some people can take a joke and some can't, and some can use their creativity and score points, and someone sit around wringing their hands and clutching their pearls and losing their shit. And if you think that's what's going to win it, fine. All I'm saying is, you think after losing repeatedly to Trump, they try something new. But they still point their finger. They still point their finger. That's not very nice. They keep doing that. And that's not resonating. That's not a winning approach. It hasn't worked. It has not worked. MAGA is a phenomenon. It has changed our politics forever. I don't think people understand this. This thing that you're shitting on, this thing called Trump, the history books are going to tell it, Johnson. Long after you and I are gone, everybody watching this, long after we are gone, in the history books, there will be a more than a footnote. There will be a whole chapter on MAGA and how it came in and took over the Republican Party and kicked the asses, kicked the backs into the Democrats. You can stay stuck in the 90s or you can move forward, right? Move forward into the new century of how shit is done. What's bad is there are Democrats who get it. There are progressives that get it. But unfortunately, they line up behind a team that doesn't. Because that's what old money does to you. You know, that's what old money does. Next. It's shameful, Johnson. It is absolutely shameful.
Back. And people are going to start, I'm telling you, this is going to be a thing. People are going to start, instead of stealing groceries from the stores, they're going to start watching people go to their cars. And they're going to take all of their groceries. And you know what the store going to do? Not our problem. Not our business. It's outside the store. They didn't do it in the store. It's not our property. Call 911. Call the authorities. Make a report. They're going to leave your ass for dead. And people are really going to be stealing people carts of groceries out of the grocery parking lot. I'm telling you. It seems like it's headed that way. Now, what other choices are people going to have to find food to eat? Because people about to be out here struggling. They about to be out here bad. So do you really think they're going to look at you with all these groceries, packing it in your car, about to go home and feed your family from the, hard-earned money that you made from working your job?
Yeah, it sounds like we got to keep our eye on her, man, because she seems a little, I don't know, she seems gangster, don't she? It's like she going to be one of the people sticking people up for their groceries. You know what this is about, right? So the government shutdown, we're in the day 20 of the government shutdown, and part of the shutdown will be SNAP benefits, right? So we're going into a new month. And if you stop the money train, you stop the money train, and part of the money train is SNAP benefits. And that's food stamps. That's people getting food. And, of course, since, we live in a anti-black world, an anti-black country, the face of people being pissed off about food stamps is black women. Everywhere I looked, I'm looking for clips to cover this segment. All I got is a bunch of clips of black women threatening to hurt people. And most of them are overweight. Wonder where that came from, Johnson.
That afforded you the affordability to buy those groceries. They ain't gonna give a fuck. They ain't gonna care.
And most of them have expletives, swearing, cursing.
They gonna snatch them bags up out your hand and be like, I wish you would.
Sounds like she's a little bit too familiar with the idea of what's happening here. You know what I'm saying? Like it just seems to me that she's kind of cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Like she might be one of the culprits. That's how it's coming across to me. She don't seem appalled at all. It's like, this is what they're going to be doing. This is what they going to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what else could they do? You know what I'm saying? And that's how it's coming across to me, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusion.
And some just might lose their for it. And it ain't worth it.
What?
Trump cutting off.
Killing people for a dozen of eggs? Hey, man, there's a lot of people out here. Look, hold on a second. Hold on, man. Like, I know you want to go viral. I get it. I understand. There are people that want to go viral. They want to, they want to make some money. Ain't nobody gonna die. Nobody trying to kill nobody over a dozen eggs, lady. Over some damn oodles and noodles. All right, calm down. All right. People over what? Some steakums? Some big mamas at the front of cashier? What? Some waffles? Some dry-ass waffles? I've been trying to gaslight the world. Everybody gonna die. It ain't even November yet. Everybody gonna die. Some people can take a break. They can take a little. Please don't let this sister be crying.
Food stamps right before Thanksgiving, bad and all, but my people ran out of stores. With the cart full, I bet it's gonna be some turkey on my plate. Ham, mashed potatoes, greens, dressing. It's gonna all be there. Don't worry about it.
Donald motherfucking Orange Man J. Trump. I'm gonna tell you just like this. What the fuck you mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps in goddamn November?
Look, guys. See, this is. Everybody don't need social media. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. At some point, some people might need to. I mean, she just got all the girls out like Aretha Franklin. Rest in peace. Big and just Hey, look, man, I'm not going to knock you. I get loud. I'm boisterous. I'm over the top a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? But I can bring it down. We can be very serious about this. It's just, Jesus Christ. I don't need to see this all the time, man. Look, it's just not fair that they depict black women this way. I want to clear some things up, guys. Let's clear this up. Let's be nerdy for a second, and let's learn some shit. Let's learn something, okay? SNAP benefits, guys. 40 million people, over 40 million people get SNAP benefits. Now, if we know that that's a lot of people, we know it's barely 40 million black people in America. Okay, so it's not all black people. Okay. So even though on X, you wouldn't know that, 35% of SNAP benefit recipients in 2023 were white, non-Hispanic. That's the largest group. But everywhere I looked, when it came to this, for some reason the algorithm kept serving up a bunch of black American women that were upset about it. That don't make sense, does it? That's because shit is racist. Also, there's a very large number, 40% of who get SNAP benefits are kids. So 40% of the people, 40%, I'm sorry, let's go back. Almost 40% of people getting SNAP benefits are white. 40% of the people getting it, of the people in general, are children. Okay? It's not lazy ass people that don't want to work, just want to get food stamp. Okay? Okay. So that's the second thing, man. And people need to know that. The second largest group, well, there's another 19 or 20% that are elderly people, older people, right? Who are surviving because of pensions and what have you. So 60% of the people getting SNAP benefits are under 18 or over 65, over 60. Okay? So it's like social media makes people use this. It's like a weapon against other people. When in reality, when you look at the numbers, you look at really what's going on, you realize maybe it's not as widespread, or the people that are being as the spokesmodels for this, it's not so, okay? It's not just black women who are getting SNAP benefits. I know this is disgusting, and in the way that some people talking in these videos, it's like they proud, like, look at me, I wish a motherfucker would, all this stuff. But I'm just saying, speaking as a black American that loves black women, I wish America was so damn anti-black, an anti-black woman. I'm serious, Johnson. It's like when America has a long history of painting black women in this light. So they make black women either look like they're promiscuous or lazy in order system. And they make black men look like they're either violent or more violent. And that's how America runs. And unfortunately, we got a certain number of coonery people, right? Some would call them black conservatives who play right into that, because that's what a lot of Americans want to see, because that's what they're comfortable. They like pointing over at black people and making them the poster child for whatever they don't like. But in reality, folks, the numbers just don't bear it out. So as we know that, as we understand that, let me also state this, guys. Well, I had it. I don't know what I did with it, but let me just put it to you like this. The shutdown is the reason for this, right? And that's really what it is, okay? So the shutdown, that and the big, beautiful bill, those two things are what changed the SNAP benefits. Of course, we're in the day 20, as I said it before, for the shutdown. The government shutdown is threatening to halt some of the payments. It is what it is. And if you're upset about that, I say you should be upset about the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party are the group that are refusing to go along with the continued resolution, which would fund the government at the same rates that it was funded in the last two resolutions. Okay? They're the ones that want the government to shut down. So you can't say, all these people, most of the people, not these people, but most of the videos I saw today were people blaming Trump for the shutdown, when it's the Democrats who won't sign a resolution. Okay? Okay. But now, when it comes to cuts, there are new changes in the big, beautiful bill that make it so some asylum seekers, some non-American citizens, undocumented people lose their benefits. There are also more work requirements for those that get benefits that may change their allotment of benefits, right? So there are things in the new legislation that are going to kick in that will modify how people receive benefits. Some of this right here is government shutdown. That's the most immediate effect, but there are also things in that big, beautiful bill that are kicking in that will change how SNAP benefits get distributed to citizens and non-citizens. So just on those things, knowing first of all, even though black women look like they are the primary people, they get benefits, they're not. That's the first thing. That's some bullshit. Second, the largest group of people getting it are kids, which makes sense, right? Because you have a household, most households have one adult, but they might have 4 kids, right? So it makes sense that more children are getting it. Some of the requirements are getting stiffer. The government shutdown is the reason for. The sudden freeze that may happen hasn't happened yet. May happen, right? And other is the changes to the budget because of the big beautiful bill. And if you understand that, you know more than 90% of Americans, because most Americans don't know what's going on, it's particularly if they're not affected by this. But if you go on social media, you're going to get the wrong impression. So I want my people to at least understand what's happening and why it's happening. I'm not saying I support it. I think that people should be able to eat. Considering all the things that America spends money on, spending money on people being able to eat, seems petty as hell for you to cut that. There are a lot of things we could cut. We could start with a lot of places. But I think starting with people eating is petty as hell. I mean, I always look at it like we're a first world country, right? What good is being American? Everybody say America's so great. America, the greatest country that's ever existed. The richest country in the history of countries. All this yada, 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 yada. I don't even know if it's true, Johnson. I just know they like saying it. But if you believe that America is a great country, what makes us great? I would think being able to feed ourselves, feed our citizens, would be a reason. That'd be something you want to hang your hat on. That and healthcare and clean water, clean air. These are things I think no matter what the price tag is on them, you got to say get those. You know, when I was a kid and we go shopping, I used to hate going shopping with my mother because my mom was like, one thing about her, she determined if she liked the shirt by the price tag. I'd go find a shirt, be like, Mom, look at this. She'd say, how much is it? She was like, she didn't even see it till she saw the tag. Oh, no, that's not nice. No. Oh, $12. Oh, look at these. These are nice. See, look at the price tag, $5. Oh, these are nice. Don't you like this? All irregular sleeve up here, one sleeve up here, one down. I'm like, got me looking crazy. They call it irregular stitching. One leg longer than the other. These are nice. This look good. You can wear that with the irregular pants I got you last week. It almost evens it out because one side is longer than the other, than the pants. One side is longer. You wear them together, kind of like make it work, baby. There you go, get that. And thank God. Thank Jehovah. Where was I going with that? I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, okay, so being able to take care of ourselves, being able to take care of American citizens, I think will be a primary reason to say that we're a great country. And if we don't do that, if we don't at least do that, then what are we? Right? What are we? What are we really bragging about? And what are people dying for? What are our soldiers fighting for? What are we protecting? You always talk about we're protecting our way of life. What way of life? What makes us great? Netflix channels? Netflix releases? Comedy shows? Stand-up comedy? What? Being able to say we take care of our citizens. Clean air, clean water, healthcare, and food. Those 4 things, you gotta have them. Oh, and I would like to throw in my border. Yeah, that's when I lose all my Democrats. That's when the progressives go, fuck you, Tim. You and this border. Like I always say, if you disagree with me, go ahead and take the locks off your door. And give me your gun. Because a lot of you that are talking shit have guns. That's the thing. See, Democrats have they have a false representation of themselves. A lot of Democrats own guns. A lot of progressives are strapped. Just too many conservatives believe the bullshit. They think, hey, this is a goofy progressive. No, a lot of them have guns. They do. They want an open border, but they got guns. Okay, so don't fall for the okie doke. Everybody not soft just because they want people to have health care. Okay? All right. Wow, that was good. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Food stamps, hope that this was valuable. Hope it was useful for you. I just want people to be armed. If you're on social media, it's offensive what you see, but don't believe it. Don't believe because the algorithm's giving you shit to trigger you. Don't accept it as real. Black women are not the face of food stamps. Children are. And most of those children are white. All right. Let's keep going. And there's nothing wrong with that. It should be. They should, because most of them people in America are white. I shouldn't even have to say it. But I shit you not, as I prepared for this, I could find white women videos. Now, maybe if I had time to go all through TikTok, I probably could. But on X, you ain't gonna find nothing but a bunch of Hispanic and black women complaining, and all of them were 200 pounds plus. Complaining, I need to get my greens. I need to get my macaroni and cheese. I'ma hurt somebody. It's like a minstrel show. All right, guys, next. Lord have mercy. See what I'm saying? Look at this. Look at this. She's still talking.
Did I get every goddamn month?
Somebody cash app her a couple dollars, please. Please. Look, if we give you $100, will you shut the hell up? Will you take this video down? You set black people back 30 years. Please, take this shit down. And put on a shirt.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
The apparent decline of Joe Biden, you said you're a member of the inner circle and you never saw the decline. And after that, I wrote, how? Yeah. You even write, Karine, that you were on the plane with him going to the debate and you didn't see anything.
Well, when we were on Air Force One going to the debate, you got to remember his campaign people were on the team, his family was on the team. I actually was one of those rare trips that I didn't really see him until after the debate, even though I was on the plane. So really, I want everybody to know that I take this question incredibly seriously.
Look, and I want everybody to know Karine is full of shit. Yeah, she's full of shit. She was full of shit when she was press secretary. She's even more full of shit. I didn't even know it was possible to be full of as much shit as she is. She's only 5'2". Where did all this shit get in her? How did all of that get inside of that little package? I need to ask her wife, how did she get all of that in her? Karine is a liar. She's been lying for a long time. She's been very good at lying. Okay, all White House spokespeople lie. They all lie. They all tell stories. But imagine writing a book, coming out here complaining about the way your boss was treated when your boss was incompetent and you lied the whole time about their incompetency. That's crazy. It's funny seeing what's her name? Gail? Yeah, Gail. Gail King. It's funny seeing Gail hold her feet to the fire. That's a beautiful thing. Gail's holding her feet to the fire like, it just seems weird that you were so close to him and didn't know he was stupid. You didn't know he was suffering? You didn't know? You couldn't tell, huh? And Chris like, yeah, I used to be with him all the time, but that particular time, I wasn't there. I mean, I was... All the other times, I was right there, but not that time, The time that everyone knows something was wrong with him. Everybody knew something was wrong with him. And that particular time, you was not there. I mean, you was there, you just weren't paying attention that particular time. Corinna's full of it, man. I'll tell you, man, being a White House spokesperson, it's like you just lie like a rug.
I do. I was his White House press secretary, which means I had a role that saw him practically every day and traveled with him.
And you saw nothing.
For more than 95%. We've always said, we're not going to say, oh, he didn't age. He aged. And he poked fun at it. We always owned up. And with age comes what happens when you...
What? You always owned up? What? All right, Gail. Gail, don't go for the. Come on, Gail. Come on, Gail.
Take this question incredibly seriously. I do. I was his White House press secretary, which means I had a role that saw him practically every day and traveled with him
And you saw nothing.
for more than 95%. We've always said, we're not going to say, oh, he didn't age. He aged. And he poked fun at it. We always owned up. And with age comes what happens when you get older.
Which is?
But when we talk about the mental acuity, and again, I take this very, very seriously.
Yeah.
I never saw anyone who.
Yeah, I take this very, very seriously as I try to come up with shit to say that doesn't make me look like a big liar that I am. And look, guys, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We all know she's lying. Everybody knows it. Even the people at the GMA are saying it. They're cutting to get her because all of America knows she's full of shit. We all get it. It sucks that the spokesperson that worked directly for Biden would be held to a higher standard than everybody else, right? Like her VP or like his VP, right? Because Corinne's just a worker. I mean, to be honest, guys, she is just a worker. It's not like she was an elected official. She's just an employee, right? Employee of the White House, serving at the behest of Biden. But the fact that she wrote books and she's out here talking, instead of staying low, laying low, or she could just go the other way. She could just tell the truth. She could just be like, look, I ain't got nothing to hide. Biden was a freaking idiot. He is lost. He didn't know where he was. He grabbed my ass once. He was over here. His fly was open. He had his pants on backwards and his fly was open. He was trying to take a dump in the urinal. Tell the truth. Make up shit. Who cares? But you're lying now. Look, man, in reality, no one can really hold her accountable for what Joe Biden was allowed to do, or the fact that what Jill did to Joe. You know, I fought his wife. Jill Biden could have come out at any time. She is the one, really. Jill Biden is the one that should have came out, because she doesn't work for Joe. She's his wife. She could have come out and said, look, damn it. At any time, she could have came out and said, look, my husband is not well. And he needs to stop this shit. Y'all need to leave and everyone would be like, oh, Jill's riding for her Joe. He couldn't divorce her for saying it. Is that what he could do? And she could have said it in a way that seemed real, unlike Charlie Kirk's wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, people could have brought it. But see, the fact is, she's unscrupulous. The fact is, she wanted him to be president probably more than he wanted to be president. Okay? He pretty much saw this ship leave the bay. That may not be true. I don't know, but it just seems like they both were power hungry as hell. And I think if you want to hold somebody accountable for it, and I'm not trying to get Corinne Jean-Pierre grace or none of that, because I'm not on that with her. But I'm just being realistic. Not a lot of people would throw their job away or their future away to rat out the president. Now, the wife could do it under the guise of actually giving a shit about the country and caring about her husband. She could do it. And I think she is the primary person. And if not her, the vice president. It would be a gamble. And see, that's the thing about Kamala Harris that all of her supporters don't get. And I don't know a better way to say it, but Kamala's a coward. Yeah, she's got no backbone. She ain't a leader. She don't have backbone. And I think that's the most obvious thing about Kamala. She doesn't stand for anything, and she doesn't have a backbone. It would have been risky if Kamala would have called out Joe Biden back then, but if she would have done it, I think she's president right now. But it would require taking a risk. And that's the last thing that Kamala ever wanted to do was take a risk. And that's why she's on a book tour that most people with brains, with the brain in their head that think, are not going to, and her career's over. So KGP, Corinne Jean-Pierre, is an easy scapegoat for something that you should be holding the white lady responsible for. But since it's America, and America loves to demonize black women, whether they're LGBTQ or whatever, if they're short, tall, skinny, fat, don't matter. If you black, you get the blame. And they'll blame Corinne Jean before they blame Kamala. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Am I on to something? I think I am, Johnson. But you know, the truth is in the eye of the beholder. Next. We're doing pretty good here, Johnson.
Wasn't there. I saw someone who was always engaged. I saw someone who understood policy, pushed us on the policy, and also understood history. And there were times, I'll tell you the story, there were times where he would call me into the Oval Office, and I would be like, oh no, because I knew whatever he was going to ask me was going to be direct, was going to be about a story he read, about how we're pushing back.
You know, she's mixing in truth with lies. You were like, oh no, Grandpa's telling dumb stories again. Shit that's irrelevant, that never end. And he also made, you might went in there, he didn't have pants on. Like, she's like adding, that's the best way to tell lies. Use a kernel of truth. Yeah, what we got called to the office, really? And really, it was just because he was about to hit you with all these historical facts? Or did he need help? Need you to come pick up the pencil he dropped. Are we going to tell the truth, Kern, or are we going to tell the truth, Corinne? Huh? Next.
How we're pushing a message forward.
And you write about
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Tim.
God. Damn.
Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
This what we doing? Oh no, what's it? 12, 20, 1200, I thought I told your dumb ass $2,000. I know I didn't work for this. And I know we done had a building fund for 20 years. We could have bought 3 new churches with all the building fund money. But I told your ass. Damn. I saw some people say, Tim, but he meant was this line is for the people with $2,000 envelopes. There's another line for the 1,000 and some change. She's in the wrong line. Don't hang this brother out to dry over a misunderstanding when she's wrong. Do you realize if she gave him $20, that's a lot? Because she ain't got to give shit. He's a black man. Why y'all gotta try to come for the black man? I'm defending black people from the black man. It just sounds bad as hell, okay? I don't know exactly the inner workings, how this shit works. All right? I never thought I'd be a person going to church. I'm going to church now. Because, I was raised in Jehovah. That wasn't church. That was like a jail sentence. Had to go to fucking hall all the time. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, like, Mom, this is some bullshit. Music wasn't even catchy. But I'm going now, and when they do the tithe thing, you know what I'm saying? They become like, hi, pass it down, pass it down. It always has me, it gives me an uneasy feeling. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say I understand all the inner workings. I'm very new to it. When I was a Jehovah, when I was a kid, they had a box in the back. And you just walked in and put whatever you wanted in it. No one followed you. No one, it wasn't, you come to none of this. Come to the front, shame people, none of this shit. It was in the back. You know where it was, just put it in there. And you felt good putting it in there, because it was my mother's money. But anyway, here's the thing. This just sounds bad. I don't know the particulars, but it sounds really horrific that a guy would be complaining about free money. I don't do that with people that support the Tim Black Show. You get $5, I'm like, thank you. If it's $2, then people would say, hey, somebody send $2. You know what? That's $2 that they didn't have to send. So I'll never be like, oh, what the hell is this? This is the $20 line, ma'am. I know you ain't come up in here with this $2. What are you, a loan shark? What are you doing, shakedown artist? What are you doing, embezzling the people? What is going on here? See, it just sounds horrible, man. And I think these pastors, these old ass pastors need to realize it's the digital age and this shit will go on the internet and it needs to not look a certain way. I'm not saying that's the way it was. I'm not saying that I could be getting it wrong. Maybe the context is a little different in reality or whatever. I'm just saying the way it looks. He looked pissed off. He did look indignant. He did not look appreciative of the money that was going to the church. It looked like a hustle. It looked like a hustle. And that's not to smear him, it's just what it is. And they're not doing this because, of course, maybe I'm covering it because it's a black guy. I think I would have covered it if it was a white guy too. I say, see, they do it too. But it is what it is. Black Americans are the most religious people in the country. We are. Of all demographics. So there's that. It's not just picking on black people. We are the most righteous. For some reason, it's the Nick Fuentes and the whites that are the Christian nationalists. Are there black Christian nationalists? I don't know, guys. Just throw that out there. Am I tripping or did it sound funky the way he was like, I thought I told you 2,000. Am I tripping? I mean, it's okay to disagree. It's okay. I ain't gonna hold it against you. I don't feel like I'm wrong to say it sounded bad. Because it did.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Trump let George Santos out of jail. At the same time, though, that he's going after folks like James Comey and Letitia James. So how are you feeling about this, what I think most Americans see as an unequal display of judicial accountability and the weaponizing of government?
And he just happened to pardon, well, was it over 1,000 people who tried to overthrow the United States government?
Yeah.
You know?
January 6th.
All right. And meanwhile, in an unprecedented way, and this is scary stuff, he is going after the Attorney General of the state of New York because she did her job, going after a sitting United States senator, going after the former head of the FBI. That is not what America is about. We disagree with each other, that's fine, but we don't throw our opponents in jail.
You just have to come back some more. You just have to come back again.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS.
Yeah. Yeah, Bernie, we just gotta get you to come back, Bernie. You just gotta come back. Yeah, when Bernie was running, you weren't so nice. Yeah, because the Marshall Papers were like, throw Bernie under the bus and help Hillary. Bernie been saying the same shit for 30 years. And then every time you treat him really good till it gets around election time. Then it's like, oh, time to throw this old bastard under the bus. He ain't the guy. And that's the thing, the good thing about Bernie is he's consistent, and the bad thing about Bernie is he's consistent. Consistently boring with this shit. Hey, Bernie, man, will you stop? Look, all he does is curry water for the Democrats. It just gets old. If at some point, guys, if you buy a gun, you might need to buy bullets. And Bernie's the guy, it's like the guy that buys all the guns but has no artillery, no bullets. And he just keeps showing you these guns. He don't know how to shoot them, and he doesn't have bullets for them. And that's pretty much his whole movement. And I know it pisses people off. I know they don't like hearing the truth. And I know a lot of my black viewers, those are the white viewers, I know a lot of my black viewers are like, I don't want to hear shit about Bernie anyway. They get tired of Bernie. Bye, Bernie. I get it. I get it. Yeah, let's keep moving. We're almost done. I think we're almost done for the night, guys. I think this is our last.
Pritzker family, very prominent political family, apparently has 64 NGOs. Again, this is just one single NGO, and you're seeing a lot of people working for no compensation. They're just a trustee of some sort. Everybody else is being paid upwards of $250,000. Senior VP for policy research, $400,000 a year being paid for that. Strategy affairs being paid $330,000 a year. VP, $300,000 a year. And again, they've got 64 of these. This is all paid for by your tax dollars, by the way. That's all your money. So you get these families in government. It's almost just like a thief who figured out that the bank vault door got left open. And they really are just, every NGO is another bag for cash. And they just jam as much cash into one bag as possible, zip it up, throw it away, file a new LLC. We're the clean water people, whatever. Fine. Just shove the money in the bag, hand it off to your friends. Do they achieve anything? No, not really. Do they build anything? Certainly not. No.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, that's facts. The non-government organizations. We were talking about this a little bit on last night's show. We talked a little bit about the government, and I was telling you about my experiences as a federal contractor, what I'd seen, and some of the reports of how all these people they work so hard and they lost their federal jobs. I was just reminding people that there are some people that didn't work so hard. And I know that's not what people want to hear. Because if you are a person that did work hard and you lost your job, you're mad as hell. And I'm mad for you. All right? I agree with you. I just want you to know that there are people that sucked, that were getting paid, not coming to work at all, who weren't on shit, okay? They was chilling. And that should piss you off. Because that didn't just start 2 days ago. That shit had been going on for a long time before I got there. And I saw it happen. And I was a contractor. I saw federal employees drunk, high, at the club, basically. Going to the diner, going to the hotel, during the day. And this is real talk. So, yeah, these non-government organizations, come on, man, who. It's a money bank. It's a piggy bank. The same thing happened here in Maryland when they were building the National Harbor here, where they had the MGM Casino down there. When they built that, there were people that got locked up then. It was like a free fall of paper. It was like, just, hiring people to do contracts, no-show contracts, this and that. People making money hand over fist. And some people got in trouble, got jammed up behind it. Because somebody blew the whistle, somebody started talking. This happens all the time in our government agencies. So when you hear them talk about Doge, and I know I lost a lot of people that were so upset about Doge and upset about Project 2025. Yo, it disappointed me when it was black people. Because we've been living under you just had a name. You had a name, a buzzword, and people couldn't see past the buzzword. So you don't think Obama had a plan and just didn't have a number in the name that you could demonize and say, this is evil. But you don't think there was plans? As a black American, you don't think there was plans to displace us? Maybe it's not written down in a tiny little book with a name on it that Taraji P. Henson can mention at a black event, okay? But there was something written down that said bring in 10 to 20 undocumented people on the southern border. There was something, and move them into black neighborhoods. I don't know what project that was under, but I didn't see you leave the show or shit on me or be upset about it. You should have been, but maybe some of you were not black Americans, so you don't really give a shit how black Americans are treated or if our resources are gone, because some of you are black looking but not black American. So you don't really give a damn. Same thing with this non-government organization. That's what NGO stands for, and those are just like piggy banks. If you can get a hookup, and you can get the contract or the subcontract, the sub-sub or the sub-sub, I mean, it's a whole line of this shit. I was briefly exposed to it. And I learned these people, and it's not a new thing. It's been going on for years, Johnson. What happened at the U.S. Aid Organization when they were saying there was a lot of frivolous-ass non-government organizations out there cutting checks, people related to, associated with other representative, other government officials, getting money, doing who knows what? It's real. You may not care about it and say, it's Trump on witch hunts. That don't make it not real. Just other presidents, other administrations look the other way. This is how DC runs. This is what they do. They don't break it if it ain't, they don't try to fix it if it ain't broke. It's been operating this way for a long time. So you got little fat buddy there in Illinois, Pritzker. He put his whole family on. And so when we talked before about corruption, when we talked before about racism and anti-blackness and all this stuff, Johnson, how many black Americans do you really think are able to wield the power to do this type of shit? Do you think it's a predominantly white American thing that gets away with this shit? Maybe because they have most of the positions. Hey man, only like 2% of lawyers are black men. Black men only make up like 2% of lawyers. Black women only make up like 2% of female lawyers, female doctors. Like, maybe it's 4% now. It ain't, it's less than 5. So when you're watching these shows, people have these false representations in their head about how shit works. So the same thing goes for these non-government organizations. Most of these organizations are not run by black Americans. Okay? It's just what it is. And there are a lot of elites getting this money. And guess who was also not run by? Poor ass white people. Poor white people don't get this money. Okay?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. Yep. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Poor people, working class people are not getting the opportunity to take advantage of the government in a way that elites are being able to take advantage of it. And at some point, I believe that the cat will come out the bag and the rest of America will flip and go crazy. Trump is exposing things that weren't being exposed before. I'm not saying he's doing it for good reasons. I'm just saying he's doing it maybe because he's pissed at these people and he wants to blow the spot. Okay? These non-government organizations are a real thing. And the money trails are a real thing. One family, he said 64 different organizations. What do they accomplish? Getting money. I don't know, fam. Let me know what y'all think, man. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah. You know, everything's a racket. All of it's a racket. That's why when they be talking shit when they're online and they're saying, oh, come on, Tim Black, anybody can be successful in this country. You know, some people have more of an access to success than others. I'm not saying everybody can be successful. I'm not saying every day there's a system that wakes up that tries to keep everyone down that's black or all working class people down. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is there are certain conditions that are in place that will make it easier for some people to succeed, more so than others. These are called advantages, and there are disadvantages. When your disadvantage is your skin color, that's a problem. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's not that easy to change. Not saying that we would. I'm just saying it's not something you can remove. That's why when people say, oh, the LGBTQ, I disagree. Not because I got something about LGBTQ. It's that most people wouldn't even know what you are unless you let them know. I tell people famously, I've told the story of people that I worked with when I was an IT tech at a federal agency. And I thought people were one nationality because they used their name. They truncated their name to remove the stigma or the racial bias that they would face if people knew that they were Latino or Mexican or whatever. Quickly, I found out that Joe's real name was Jose. And he did that for a reason. And it wasn't because it's easier to spell either. It may be, but that's not why he truncated it. He truncated it because racism. And they want us to believe it was just black people complaining, playing victim and not being accountable and all this other garbage. But you know what? You can keep buying into your Gary V's. Keep buying into Gary V talking about, my dad came here from Serbia. And he worked hard, and he built a liquor store from nothing. And I was able to be there, and I helped put money in the thing. Hey, how'd he get the loan? Hey, how'd he get the loan, Gary? Was it part of the Russian mob, Gary? Why are you leaving out all the good shit? Why'd that guy give your dad the fucking liquor store? Did he witness something happen? You know, the guys that killed Denzel in Training Day. Those guys have influence. I'm just saying, these lies, these stories that people tell are amazing, and you can't buy into the foolery because they don't want to include the real story. Pat David goes on and on about how his parents worked at a convenience store, and he's from Pakistan or wherever he's from. And people where he came from were poor, and his parents struggled. And they did they really? Did they really struggle? I don't know. It's easier to do when you're not black. Struggling's easy to do when you got the right complexion for the protection from the collection. And also, how did he get the hookup? Who hooked him up? Was it the government or was it your nationality or friends here that had access to resources that were able to hook him up? Nobody wants to admit to the hookups. Nobody wants to admit to the favoritism that they were showed at some point that made life easier for them because that clouds the narrative that they want to sell us. Same thing with the Democratic Party and the non-government organizations, Johnson. Same fucking thing. These people start organizations. They look at Stacey Abrams, and I'm only picking her because I know about it. I'm sure there are all types of people that I don't know who are a lot less popular or known as Stacey Abrams who did similar shit. I just know Stacey Abrams got a contract that Joe Biden did at the 11th hour that was for millions of dollars to hand out like refrigerators or some shit, eco-friendly, solar-powered, some shit in the hood. And how many did they actually get out? It's like millions of dollars in this account. Stacey Abrams don't know shit about these refrigerators or these washers or dryers or stoves. And now she's overseeing it. She's a part of a green initiative or whatever. It's the money laundromat. It's the money cleaners. They hook their friends up. Sort of like Kamala Harris giving her rich billionaire friend Oprah, what was it, $300 million? What was it? I don't know. Crazy amount of number. I don't know what it was. $1 million to interview her Since when do you got to pay Oprah to interview you? Oprah's going to make money interviewing you. Why did your campaign give Oprah money to interview you? Why did you have to pay Al $500,000 to talk to you? It doesn't make sense. Why did you pay Roland damn near $500,000 to interview you in a softball interview? I thought he gave softball interviews to you and to other Democrats for free. It's called the laundromats. I'm not saying Trump. I'm definitely not saying Trump ain't doing the same shit. He is. He's not inventing shit. That's all I'm saying. He is not inventing anything. He's corrupt. Trump is corrupt. That's right, MAGA. Trump's corrupt. Comes with the job. Every president is. For you to think he's not is crazy. He doesn't take a salary. I know, Goofy. That's just the fool, dumb, broke people. He don't need to take salary. He's got a crypto thing. And death, he's selling tennis shoes and cologne and steaks and all this other shit. Goofy. But see, some people cannot be informed. It's like, oh no, information. Don't want that. Interfering with the dumb shit I got in my head already. Don't want to compete against the dumb things I already think. At some point, fam, we're going to have to address the fact and realize and accept. If I could just get people to upset that our government is full of shit, that both sides are not our friend, that we have to hold them both accountable and don't sleep on either side. Recognize the shit for what it is. If I could just get us to admit that, then we can start plotting and planning about what's the next move. But the first move is admitting you have a problem. That's the first thing we need just to do. Don't listen to the native land pod. If they only we would have got Kamala. Yeah, Angela said that because she would have got a job. I'm sure she believes that because she would have got the fucking hookup. You know how many black women were picking out homes here in the D.C. area, knowing they was going to be hooked up when Kamala got in? Do you know the residual effect having a Kamala in office was going to do for all light-skinned black women in the D.C. area that worked in the federal government? Everybody would have wanted their own Kamala in the office. You think of bullshit. I'm telling you, it would have created it has an effect that spreads. So having Trump created another effect, and that was business as usual. White guys are up again. Make sense? You get it. You get it. You see it. You see it. One day we're going to wake up, all of us, at one time, and wow, hold your horses. It's going to be crazy. All right, guys, my name is Tim Black. Thank you for tuning in to the Tim Black Show. We do this on Sunday, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. It's when the music starts. The music don't stop. Can't stop, can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Y'all think Trump going to commute Diddy's sentence? You know what? I see him doing it just to say screw him. Yeah, Trump likes doing things just to spite the Democrats. He might do it. I mean, Diddy talked a lot of shit. He talked a lot. But who knows? Trump's crazy. All right, guys, I can't see my comments. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Let people know that you were watching the Tim Black Show. Share it. And also, guys, I want to remind you, this video, all my live streams stay active for up to 48 hours. Then they go private, not private. Then they become limited to only my subscribers. Not subscribers. To my paid members of the Tim Black Wolfpack. So, one of the perks of being with the Tim Black Show is a VIP member. is you get access to all our full-length shows. This is not a restriction. This is a perk for being a part of a VIP. I got to get something to my members. I want to support them the way they support me. And part of doing that is giving them access to the full show, uncut, raw. Now, I still put out clips, and if you're here, you can watch the live stream, and you have up to 48 hours to watch it. But after that, I cut off the faucet, and then it's only available to my VIPs. I think it's fair, and I think it's a way to give something to my people that they already like. And now it's exclusive. So become a member by going to jointimberlake.com, sign up, starting only $5 a month. I don't think it's crazy. I don't think the price is too high. I think it's just right to get people started. Support independent media. I think what we do here is something unique. And I think you're the type of people that can appreciate that. I got nothing but love for you. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. Right? I'm counting on you. Nah, you're counting on you. We're counting on us. All right. I got a lot of reasons for doing what I do. I roast people for a reason, I go in hard for a reason, and I do my best to never pull my punches. If I'm going to hit you, I'm going to hit you good. But one of the reasons I do it is because of my ladies. Speaking of ladies, here go my ladies. My reasons are right here. What are yours? Put it in the comment section. What are your reasons? Here goes just a couple of my reasons. I love y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. See you Wednesday. Where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? Oh, there they go.